Welcome all you Scorpios to your weekly energy update. We're looking at the week of May 22nd to May 29th, but of course these are also timeless, so if you're coming across this video outside that time frame, still trust your intuition and watch the video because I'm sure there's a message for you. If you are watching this during that week, I did want to let you know that the June monthlies for each zodiac sign will be coming out this week. So if you don't want to miss out on those, if you haven't done so already, you can click the subscribe button and click on the notification bell, and that will make sure you get notified when they are available. But for this week, we're going to be going into the wild unknown because we're going to be looking at the wild known archetype cards, the wild unknown spirit animal, and tarot to see what energies the creator wants you to know about this week. So for you Scorpios, let's take a look here. Hopefully you enjoy that Scorpio full moon lunar eclipse. It's probably still going to be affecting you for a little bit, especially you Scorpios, because it is your sign. So let's take a look here and see what the creator wants you to know. Overall energies for the week for our Scorpios. Okay, I do want this one for you here. And you've got the Mirror. So beautiful card there. And look, there's that full moon I was talking about. So definitely been having a lot of mirroring going on and will continue to go on this week. Just reflecting back to you, you know, every relationship and interaction with a human is going to be reflecting back to you things you wanted to see about yourself that you hadn't seen yet, or that are continuing to show you to the point where you're like, okay, I get it. So this is a good thing though, because it's happening for you. And people are just reflecting back to you what they wanted, what you wanted them to, so that you could see this at this point in your life. But let's see what other energy comes in here for you as well. Whoops. It's almost there. Flipped right by it. There we go. So the mirror, of course, is the reflection, the illusion, the looking glass. So we look into mirrors every day without recognizing them as portals into another realm. They can shatter, they can flatter, they can distort, reflect, and project an image back to us that we deem to be true. The energy of the mirror is all about self-perception. So when this archetype of the mirror appears, we're in the mythic land of Narcissus, who saw himself reflected in a pool and fell in love with his own image. So compelled by his reflection, he could not turn away, a fixation that eventually led to his death. So recognize the power and the danger of the mirror. It is a construct, one that may drive a shard between you and your true self. The mirror contains trickster energy, so put the phone down, stop with the comparisons, and let the mirror stand empty for a while. Rest with the one inside. But I love that, you know, definitely this looking at their both sides of it. You know, if you use the mirror as a tool to go, okay, what are you trying to show me about myself, without judgment, and allow it to be this beautiful awareness that comes, this beautiful step in your journey, that's the positive side of a mirror, right? But if you're looking at it and, like it said, judging yourself, comparing yourself, having the mirror reflection that's coming back be a source of lowering your self-worth, lowering your, emotions into the fear, into the rejection, instead of the love, and that life is being shown for you, instead of life's being shown to you, right? So there's this awareness. We're going to get more information, of course, and we're going to pull from the animal spirit, from the wild unknown, and just see what animal spirit energy is going to show itself first. All right. So for our Scorpios, okay, they want both of those, so we will take both. And you've got the gazelle. Beautiful energy there. And then you also have the raccoon. Beautiful energy there. So let's take a look and see what messages. First, we'll look at the gazelle here. Since I opened up to the, I think this is the earth element, of course. And I apologize, they're not in alphabetical order. So here we are, gazelle. Yeah, heightened awareness and ability, also being vulnerable. So the gazelle represents supreme grace. With every move, this awe-inspiring beauty emits sophistication and elegance. Gazelle personalities are often hyper-aware of their surroundings, bordering on hypervigilant, and this can inhibit them from enjoying the beauty they've spent so much effort cultivating. No more worrying about all those predators out there in the wild. When this card appears, it's time to get back to the present moment. Sit down, find your breath, and acknowledge the bounty that surrounds you. Let it nourish your gentle spirits. I feel like that's that, wonderful, calmer side, looking and being aware that the things that are coming back at you, what might seem like predators, those mirrors reflecting stuff back, really just taking that deep breath and realizing it's happening for you. Because when you're in balance with this energy, you're graceful, you're perceptive, even artistic. When you're out of balance, then you have a racing mind, insomnia, even have food allergies. And to bring this into balance, it's looking into yin yoga, a cozy home, and good food, right? And then let's take a look at the raccoon and see what the raccoon brings for you here. Sorry, let me just find him here. I must be going right by him. Let's just go page by page here, which is basically a message, right? Take it easy, one step at a time. You're going to find what you're looking for. Just have patience with it. And the raccoon is talented, shadowy, in hiding. So raccoon energy is at play with all artists to greater or lesser degrees. So at best, it indicates talent, tenacity, and skillfulness with a particular musical instrument or creative tool. Its shadow side points to an unresolved issue around self-image and success. So sometimes using a stage name or wearing a mask, like the raccoon does, works in an artistic's favor. Other times it limits creativity. Am I who my audience thinks I am? What if I'm ready to grow into something more? Raccoon energy won't let us off the hook until this creative ego fear is resolved. So yeah, definitely the raccoon looking into the mirror. Because when you're in balance with this energy, you're generous, you're a generous friend, you're an exceptional artist. And when you're out of balance, then you're competitive and a starving artist. That's funny. This was good food. This talks about a starving artist, right? So to bring into balance, make new work, create something new. And I love that. So this energy is definitely coming in here of this newness, reflection, and move forward there. We're going to be, of course, also pulling from the Wild Unknown Tarot and just see what messages the Creator and Spirit have for you. One more time. All right, so what else for our Scorpios, please? Okay, they do want to that one and that one and that one. So those are the messages from the Creator and Spirit. We're also going to pull from the Black Tarot. And what the Black Tarot is going to represent are the messages from your shadow. And your shadow is a part of yourself. It's like a tour guide through this human experience. And so if you think of like a tour guide at Disney World or Universal Studios, they're taking you through this life and they know what's going on behind the scenes and beneath the surface. And so they're able to bring us messages and understanding. So these are going to be messages from your shadow, what they want you to know around this experience. So just additional information. There we go. I do want this one, and actually these two for over here. But we'll start with this one right here for messages from above. Yeah, and you have the Wheel of Fortune. So the Wheel of Fortune brings a great message. One, it is the number 10, which is endings and new beginnings. So you definitely, this talked already about that you're going to have something that's going to be entering your life or leaving your life, or something leaving your life to make room for something entering your life. And the great message, it's like a little story that Spirit gave me around the Wheel of Fortune, is they were showing me that before we come down here, our soul chooses what avatar it's gonna, represent it throughout this life. So I chose, my higher self chose this Denny, this Bretta Zen, to experience life through, and it chose when I was coming down and being born, and when I'm going to be leaving the earth, and all these fated events that it wanted to experience through me on this planet. But within each of those fated events, I still have the power to choose, for my experience, what story I apply to the situation and what emotion I want to feel through this situation. So with this awareness comes this change of emotion, this change of how I look at life, because rather than looking at life as this out of control drama train that's just going and flying and is about to leap off the tracks and explode in the gorge, it's actually a very organized life. It's very fated on the events that are coming. And so it's more like a monorail at Disney World, right? That's on a fixed track that it can't fly off the tracks. It has all its stops that happen on purpose for a purpose. So we move from this place of feeling like life happens to us and feeling like a victim, to where we go with the flow of this beautiful life, realizing life is happening for us. Kind of back to that mirror, that when anything comes into our life, or people come into our life and are showing us something, it's not happening to us where they're like, hey, look at who you are. It's not like a crazy hall of mirrors where they're making fun of us. It's a reflection that's happening for us, that we wanted to have come into our life, these faded divine appointments of people coming in and these interactions that we have. So they're happening on purpose for a purpose. And it's very empowering, because it's showing you that no matter what happens and whatever comes into our life, we have the power to choose what story we put to it. And I know it's, at first when they tell me that, I go, it doesn't feel like I'm making a choice on these things, or that I can, because this thing happens and this is how I feel. This thing's happen and this is what I feel it means. And they slowed it all down and showed me, the moment that I made the decision to feel that way and to put that story around it. And they were basically telling me that when I was younger, like all of us, we are taught by popular opinion that when this happens, this is how you're supposed to feel. When that happens, this is what it's supposed to mean. Sometimes you get contradictory stories, but whatever is more reinforced over and over and over again is what we take on as our habit to define that and to feel that. And then it becomes our reaction to where something happens. It's so fast, it doesn't seem like a choice. But if we're able to slow down and pause as soon as those emotions start to rise up, and as soon as we start to try to define something and go, wait, take some deep breaths, calm myself, then I'm able to adjust over time and change my habit, change my reaction to our response instead. So this beautiful, empowering energy is coming in here for you. Let's see what else they want you to know. Another 10 of cups. Cups are your emotions. So this is endings of old emotions, beginning of new ones, which makes sense because you are looking at life in a completely different way with this new spark that you're having this week. This also is about emotional fulfillment, and it definitely makes sense that along with this Wheel of Fortune, you do have this amazing awareness that comes in when you realize that your emotional fulfillment lies in your own hands instead of the outside world. You don't fear about what's coming in the future with that Wheel of Fortune, because you realize that before you felt out of control. When something happens, you're already told, by that old conditioning that that's what it means and that's how you're supposed to feel. So you're afraid of what comes around the corner, because if it's that, oh my gosh, this is how I have to feel, how I have to think about it. But when you get your power back and you realize I get to choose, it doesn't matter what comes. I could decide for the rest of my life, no matter what comes my way, that it is an amazing, glorious adventure, and I'm happy and joyful about it if I wanted to. It doesn't mean that I'm going to, because what a boring life that would be, right? I might try it for a few days and go, wow, this is a wonderful life, and then be like, okay, I want some drama. It reminds me of, if you've ever played the it's the game where you create like little cities, and you charge taxes, and I can't think of the name right now, but it's this old game. It's like an older game. They have newer versions now, of course, but when I played it, it was like very basic, and you would grow little cities, and it would grow, and you would build, and you would spend the money that you get from taxes to build more, and you'd build the cities and build the roads and all this kind of stuff. And that was fun, but it got boring very quickly, to me anyway. And what was cool is they had this little option. You get to turn on disasters. And so when you turned on a disaster, Godzilla would come and destroy the city, or a tornado would come, or an earthquake, and then you had to go repair the stuff. And that's kind of like life. If it's too peaceful, we get bored of it. We came here to experience our opposites, like I talked about with the Wheel of Fortune. You come here to experience all those opposites of who we are. We have all these fated events that our soul wants to experience. It didn't come here to, it's like going to the movies and watch someone having a happy day in their life. You're like, okay, that was interesting, but hey, let's go watch a horror movie or a action adventure next, because that really wasn't entertaining, right? So that's what this life is about. Are you not entertained? And then you have the Eight of Cups. And this is great because, again, cups are your emotions, and the eight is about moving to a new level of your emotions. It's like you're leaving behind those emotions that no longer serve you. So as these mirrors reflect things to you, and like I said in the beginning, it's almost like you're like, all right, I get it. I've seen enough of this mirror reflected back. I see the message. Now I'm going to do something about it. And that's what this is about, is you taking that next step. You're ready to step away from these emotions that are no longer serving you. The mirror has done its job, and it's almost like the shard glass. The mirror is now broken, and you're like, okay, and now I'm moving on to my next adventure, my next phase. And let's see what your shadow wants to add to this as well. Yeah, you have the Emperor, card number 4. And so the Emperor brings in stability. The Emperor shows you two sides of your life, because there is the loving Emperor side, who's a very loved Emperor, because the loving Emperor is doing things for its kingdom. He pours out the kingdom riches. He doesn't hoard them all to himself. He uses them to invest in things that help his kingdom grow, helps them be successful, because he knows if they are growing and they're successful and they are happy, that they can impact the world in beautiful ways. And so his heart is for his people. But within every one of us, we also have a little child. When that little child inside of us feels unsafe or out of control, it freaks out, it sounds the alarm, and it actually acts out of its mind, because it actually goes out of its mind. All the blood rushes from our brain, not all of it, or we would probably die, but a lot of the blood rushes out of our brain to our hands and to our feet, so we can run and get to safety, or fight and stay alive. And so it goes into this reactive mode, like we were talking about. And instead of doing things that are loving and taking everyone into consideration, it becomes very selfish, and to the point where it doesn't realize it's just reacting, doing things to feel safe again, doing things to feel in control again, and even taking control of others. So the loving Emperor can transform into the dictator, into the tyrant instead. So seeing that you have these choices of these two sides, a lot like this Wheel of Fortune, right? Like we get to choose what we want to put around every situation, what we want to feel, and what story we want to put. That is showing us the two sides. Every moment is either of conditional love, like the fear of losing conditional love, or of unconditional love, like that loving Emperor. And then you have the devil. Yeah, so this is your shadow side here. And don't be afraid of this card, because this is basically showing you the shadow side. The shadow knows, because they basically are like Dr. Evil in the Austin Powers series. They have these plots. They're helping us. They're our tour guide that's taking us through all these fated events and taking us through it. But they bring things, like I was talking about before with this mirror, they are very not subtle. They're going to bring things to your face over and over and over again till you see it, because they're, like I was saying, Dr. Evil in Austin Powers, he would capture Austin Powers, who was the, spy, the international man of mystery, the hero of the movies. And Dr. Evil, of course, was the villain, and he would capture Austin Powers and spill how he was going to take over the world with his plot, because he planned on killing Austin Powers, right? But that's what our shadow does. It spills the plan to us by showing it in our face, going, look, this is what's making you feel restricted. This is what's making you feel small. This is what's making you feel these fears. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Now you can do something about it. Like Austin Powers, you can foil the plan. And that's what this mirror is this reflection back showing you those things that are making you feel small and constricted and low about yourself and feeling your fears. And so this is this beautiful mirror that's reflecting for you. And then you have the magician. So on the other side, then you have this magician who is your eternal self, your higher self, your powerful self. And the magician always has everything that they need within them. They usually have one, like a wand towards the heavens and a hand towards the earth. And that wand is the conduit that you bring down this beautiful, amazing energy of who you are, and you're able to put it out into the world. And so there's this empowerment that comes with this card too, a lot like the soul, right? This is that initiation, the manifester, the beginning of this new, have all these tens. This one would be a new beginning, and you have the power within you to start this new adventure. Usually they'll have all four suits of the minor arcana in front of them, the wands and the pentacles and the sword and the cup, which shows you have everything you need to bring this beautiful journey into fruition in the physical realm, to express it. So there is this newness that's coming through with all this. And then your last two cards over here is you have the Page of Cups and also the Six of Wands. So the Page of Cups, pages are messengers. So you're going to be getting emotional messages, obviously, which is what this is all about here. This mirror is bringing up these emotional messages, and they are for you to help you bring to this new place. Again, pages are like a new level of emotion, and we already kind of saw that with this 10 of Cups. So they're telling you that it is time for this new step, this new level that you want to go into that. And the Six of Wands really shows you that you're recognized for that. You have this transformation of this energy, because wands is like your drive and your ambition, your passion, your energies. And the sixes are about like moving from one shore to another. So the Six of Wands is usually called, kind of that, that you're being recognized. But I feel like the energy that it brings with this card here is that you're on one shore before of where you're trying to do things to get recognition from the outside world, like the humans, but it leaves you feeling empty. You get recognition and you're just like, they didn't recognize me the way I wanted them to, or to the extent, or if they did do all that, and you're just like, it will feel empty. But this recognition that comes on the other shore is recognition from the higher world, from the spirit world, when you are shown that the beings of love and light on the other side, they are in awe of you. They've seen what you've gone through in your life. They've seen the adventure that you've gone. And the people on the other side always look at us that come and walk upon the earth and go, you are so brave to willingly come in and experience the shadow, experience the opposites of what we are. Because we don't experience the world of fear on the other side. We don't feel sadness and resentment, betrayal, and depression and all these emotions that are tied into fear and a lower vibration of energy, the lower vibrational levels of love, because it's conditional, because we are on the other side in this beautiful bright light. So they look at you and go, oh my gosh, we are so proud of the journey that you've been on, and you've survived 100% of every struggle, of everything that's been brought into your life up to this point, right? You have 100% record, because otherwise you wouldn't be here right now watching this video. So you have come through every single one of those challenges, and you are recognizing this power that's coming in with this power of choice. But this mirror this week is all about being aware that no matter what circumstances or people are coming into your life, it's coming into your life on purpose, for a purpose, to reflect back to you so you can see what you've wanted to see about yourself, so you can find this powerful you, so that you too can recognize this powerful being you are. So I am loving this for you, Scorpios, and you're the major master transformers of the zodiac, so you enjoy this soul makeover, this emotional makeover, a mental makeover. You love recreating yourself anyway, so this is nothing that is like, oh, this is scary. You're like, oh, this is so good. You're ready for it. But I'm gonna leave the reading there. If you are looking for more messages of love from above, in addition to these weekly energy updates, I also put out monthly readings for each zodiac sign, like I mentioned at the beginning. May has already been out for a little bit, and those are still available. June's will be coming out this week, so if you don't want to miss those and a few other types of videos that I put out throughout the month, if you give this video a little thumbs up and click this like button, also click the subscribe button, that gives you access to this notification bell. And when you go in there, if you choose the all option, then you'll be notified of any new videos that come out for this channel. Also, doing those things helps spread the love, and it helps those others that really could use seeing these messages. And it also helps, of course, grow my channel. When you like a video, you share a video, you comment on a video, and especially if you subscribe to a channel, it makes the YouTube algorithm so giddy happy it wants to share the videos of that channel with other people as well. So if you feel inspired to do any of those things, I'm definitely grateful for that. Also, these are general readings. If you're looking for even more specific information and answers for your specific life, I do offer personal readings, and all that information is listed in the description box below. All right, beautiful Scorpios, as you go through this amazing week, please know that every second of every day of your life that you are unconditionally loved by the Creator of all things. And of course, I love you too. Have an amazing week. I'm sure I'll be talking to you very soon, though. In the meantime, you hang in there and you take care.